For the marketing leaders, particularly who are listening to us today and want to embrace agentic AI and compound marketing, what is your recommendation of the first thing that they do to prepare their teams and their stack?
I would say maybe two things. So one, from a technical perspective, having that openness in the architecture of your tech stack has never been more important. And if there's going to be even one piece of it that you want to start with and make sure you really have, like a open strategy to, it's got to be that data layer. I mean, the great thing about, for all the changes that are happening so rapidly with AI, frankly, all of it really depends on us being able to tap into and manage data across our organization more effectively. And so the investments you make in the data layer and your data maturity and your data management, you can be pretty confident they're going to pay dividends for you, not just with today's AI, but tomorrow's AI that will be here next week, I'm sure. So really investing in data maturity and like open ecosystem to your tech stack. And then from an organizational perspective, I don't know, it almost sounds a little bit trite to say it, but it's like, investing in experimentation. Now we talked a bit earlier here about how Growth Loop is able to power the capability to do accelerated experimentation at scale, but it still requires an organizational mind shift. Because marketing hasn't had the capability to do as much experimentation at that sort of speed, how do we get comfortable with that? How do we sort of build that into our strategies of being able to be much more adaptable? How do we make sure the rest of the company understands what we're doing with that? I think there's a real mission for a CMO here to be able to communicate to their team and to the rest of the organization that this accelerated experimentation engine that is compound marketing, this is a key competitive advantage. This is a change of how we're doing business. Here's why it's going to be so powerful. Here's how we're going to execute on it.